Welcome to this week's Joe Cooks. I hope everyone's had a nice weekend and that, and they're getting ready for the week ahead. I thought I'd set myself a challenge this weekend and cook something I've never cooked before. I keep saying week after week about getting in the kitchen and that and giving it a go, so I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and we're going to have a go at making a steak pudding. I've watched a couple of videos, Delia Smith, Gary Rhodes and that. Fantastic. I've got a fair idea of what we need and that. So yeah, let's crack on with this one because there's a fair bit involved and it takes a bit of time. So if you've got an afternoon spare, it's perfect. It's perfect. We'll have a quick run through the ingredients and we'll crack on. The way I've worked this one out is it's a two-part cook. You've got your filling and you've got your pastry. For my filling, I'm going to be using 350 grams of lean diced beef. Got this one from Iceland. The 3 packs for a tenner. They mix and match in them now, so if you live on your own, you can get a pack of fish, pack of chicken, and a pack of meat. It'll last you ages, you get loads of meals out of it. I'm going to be using a couple of sliced onions, some mushrooms which I've halved. If you're going to use kidneys, use kidneys. I don't like kidneys, but these make a great alternative. A couple of stock cubes, which I've dissolved in about 400 ml of water. A squirt of tomato puree. All my ingredients will be in the description as normal. A good squirt of lean parents, a small handful of thyme, about 15 grams of garlic puree, a couple of bay leaves, and some salt and pepper. And for the pastry, I'm going to be using 300 grams of plain flour, 150 grams of Vegetable Suet. This is the Utto one. Fantastic. That's been around since a year dot, I think. And a spoonful of baking powder. Be using a bit of cold water with that. And we'll be boiling the kettle for when we come to put the pudding into steam. I'm just going to scrape my pan with a few sprays of the fry light and get it to warm up. Once your pan's nice and hot, we can get this one underway. I'm going to go in with my mushrooms and my onions. Just chuck them in. Give them a little bit of a stir around. Like I say, I've never made this one before. And I kept looking at the ones in the tins and that. When you cook them, they get this dirty grit oil slick off them and it's horrible, it's horrible. I'm going to go in with a good squirt of the garlic. I mean, stay around to the end, it could be an absolute disaster, this one, but hopefully not, hopefully not. You've got to try something new sometimes. I'm going to go with a bit of salt and pepper, because I always forget to put this lot in. Good douse of pepper, good squirt of salt. I'm going to put a little splash of water, then get the lid on and let it steam itself so the onions go soft. Whack the lid on. We're going to let that cook out for about 3 or 4 minutes. Right, while the onions are softening up, we're just going to chuck some plain flour on this meat. About 2 tablespoons. We're going to whack the lid on of the box. And we're going to give it a good shake. Just let the flour be soaked up with all the juice in that. And it'll cling to all the meat and that. That's what we're looking for. It looks a bit gross, but it's fine, it's fine. These onions and mushrooms have had a couple of minutes now. It's quite steamy in here today because the British weather's taking the Michael again, I think. But it's good, it's good. What we're going to do, we're going to go in with meat. With floured meat. Just chuck it in. Get rid of that. Give it a good stir in that. We'll give that about 5 minutes to brown off. Then we'll start going in with the rest of the ingredients. Right, well, meat's browned off nicely now. It's had about 5 minutes. Look at that. Doesn't that look lush? And we're just going to start piling in the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to go over my stock. That'll quieten things down a little bit so we can hear ourselves think a bit more. But yeah, tell us in the comments what yous have had a go at. Tell us the successes, tell us the not so successes. It's all great, man. It's all great. It's all a learning curve and that. What we're aiming for is a nice thick gravy as well. But we're going to go in with, doesn't matter which order they go in, a small handful of thyme, dried thyme, a squirt of tomato puree, about 10-15 grams. Just gives it that undercurrent. It's lush, it's lush. The pastry, this could end up in a claggy mess. Even Delia's looked a bit sticky. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with my bowl with 300 grams of flour, plain flour. I've kept the bag out because we'll need a bit for dusting in a bit. We're going to go in with suet, a spoonful of baking powder, teaspoon. I mean, I've sort of estimated all these ingredients, so I could be making a bit too much here, like, but it's fine, it's fine. And a bit of salt and pepper. Bit of salt, bit of pepper. And just want to give it a good mix together. I'm going to be using just this dessert spoon which I weighed the flour out with. Just give it a good mix together. And this is where the sticky bit begins, I think. Go make a well, put a drop of water in. So a little bit. Mix it together. And keep going until you've got your dough, really, like. It should start coming together. It's a bit like making the dumplings, to be honest with you, if you watch my dumpling video. So I'll carry on with this. Just putting a bit of water in at a time. Don't want to go over the top. And yeah, I'll see you when I've got a bowl of pastry. Right, I've gone as far as I can, I think, with my spoon starting to bend and that. So time to go in with the old hand and that. I'm just going to roll it up into a bowl. Just knead it a little bit. Look, lush that man, lush. I think once it's like that, I'm just going to flour my board a little bit. I'm trying to keep one clean hand, one dirty hand, but that hasn't really worked, has it? So we're going to turn it out. Fantastic, look at that. Look at that. Let's give it a little knead in that. Bring it into a bowl. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of this lot as well. I'm making a right jolly mess here, like I've got stuff everywhere. Right, and what we're going to do, we're just going to roll it into a bit of a sausage. And I want to take about quarter off. About quarter. So, yeah, about there. That'll do for me, that'll do for me. And that can go to one side. So we're stuffed the line we're bowl with. And we're top. And the bowl I'm going to be using for mine is this traditional pudding dish. Took us absolutely ages to find this. You know, I searched charity shops in 2 towns. And when I got home, I noticed the label said, if I don't know if you can say it, women's underwear, £1. Fantastic. So my credit card somewhere, or my bank card has got a transaction for women's clothing on for £1. So no doubt later, YouTube will be full of Victoria's Secret and that for us. Right, let's line the bowl. Right, I'm going to be rolling my pastry out, but before I do, I'm just going to give my bowl a good squirt of fry light. I've took the daft label off in that. So just give it a good spray. And hopefully the pudding will just drop out when it's steamed. Right, I'm going to flour my board again. Bring in my rolling pin, I'm going to flour that. I'm going to roll this out, hopefully into a circle. And hopefully big enough to go in this dish. Right, I've rolled this out now. It's about a centimetre thick, half a centimetre thick. And I'm just going to place it in the bowl and I'm just going to use my hands to push the rest of it out. You can feel it's pretty gritty because of the suet, but it doesn't matter. Just get it in and just push it round, push it round, push it round, push it round, push it round. There we go, there we go. Fantastic, fantastic that. Just make sure it's pushed down in the bowl so it doesn't like come up on itself. I'm going to trim this lot off. I said I've never ever made one of these, but the ones I've seen in them tins, they're not good, they're not good. That can't be good for you, man, that can't be good for you. The oil was horrendous. But anyway, I'm going to start that to the side. I'm going to check on me pie mix because it's smelling absolutely divine, absolutely divine. Well, pie mix is looking stunning, you know, look at that, look at that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the heat off completely. This has took about 45 minutes to get to this stage. We're going to be steaming the pudding for a couple of hours. Perfect. Another couple of hours steam. This meat will just melt in your mouth. I'll pick the bay leaves out there. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to let that cool down for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to put it into a pot. Nearly forgot, we need to do a lid. We need to do a lid. I think this is going to be far too much. So I'm just going to trim a bit of that off. I say I'm doing this on the fly, so mistakes are going to happen. Mistakes are going to happen. But it's all good. It's all good. You learn from them. That's a good thing. So we'll just roll that out a bit. That'll give us a nice lid. We've still got to tie the thing up yet and that. I'm dreading that bit. I've been dreading that bit all the video, to be honest with you. But it's cool. We'll stick that one side. Well, pie mix has cooled down a bit now. We'll bring it over and we'll fill with pudding dish. Look at this. Look at that. Doesn't that look lush? Doesn't that look lush? Right, I'm just going to spoon it in. I say I probably made loads too much, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll eat it on its own, me, like, because that looks absolutely stunning. It's going to fill it right up. As far as I can get. Squeeze as much in as I can get in. And at this stage, you want to be putting your kettle on to boil. I won't put mine on because you won't hear us talk, but if you're doing it in your kitchen now, put your kettle on. And we're just going to put the lid on. And I'm just going to nip the lid all the way around. Not onto the side, just beyond the side, so it'll join up with the pudding. Absolutely fantastic. And to stop it expanding too much, I'm just going to put a couple of slots in, just to let a little bit of the steam out. If you don't do that, it'll just expand and you'll have a right mess on your hands. You'll have a right mess on your hands. Right, we've got our pudding. Let's wrap it. Let's wrap it. Been looking forward to this. Not. Right, I'm going to put my pudding to one side. It looks a little bit high to me, like, but I don't know. I've never made them before, so what you're going to need for this, piece of tin foil, square. I've doubled mine up because mine's a rubbish one. And some baking paper, again a square, and some string. I've practiced this a couple of times. Didn't work out too well for us. And there's probably people shouting at the screen now, yeah, you don't do it like that, but hey, I know. I'm aware of that. But anyway, I'm going to fold this over. And I'm going to put a pleat in it. That's what I've seen. Like so. And I'm going to put it over the top of here. Like so. And I'm going to do the same with the tin foil. So I'm going to stick a little pleat down the middle of it, just in case it expands and that. It's got somewhere to go. It's not going to hold everything in that tight that it'll just explode. But we're going to wrap these round. The foil should wrap itself down nicely like that. Yeah. I don't know how much of this you're catching, to be honest, like on the telly. I hope it's enough, because I don't fancy doing this twice. And next one's to go in with a bit of string. I like to measure a couple of wraps round. This is what I did before. I've seen all these, like, I've seen Delia put handles and that on it. Got no chance for handles for me, mate. I can barely tie a knot. But right, I've measured my string. I say first time, so it's all good. It's all a learning curve for me too. I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm just going to tie it off. Like I say, no fancy handles here and that because I can't do them. If you can do them, tell us in the comments because it fascinates me. Fascinates me. I mean, I've got rid of the pan for the filling and that. I'm going to be using this stock pot, the one I cooked the scouse in and that. I love this thing now. Like, I've only had it a couple of weeks and it's been on the video twice. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a saucer in the bottom just to pull the pudding off the bottom of the pan so it doesn't cook from the bottom up. It'll cook nicely all the way around. And we're going to make like a bain-marie. So we're going to go in with a pudding, just stand it right in the middle on the plate. We're going to take our boiling water and we're going to bring it about 3/4 up the bowl. I'm hoping my kettle's big enough. I think it is. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Right, I'm going to whack the lid on, bring it up so it starts steaming and that. Then I'm going to turn it down and I'm going to cook it for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. We'll come back then and we'll see how we're getting on. Right, it's been about 3 hours for me. Blink of an eye for you. I'm just going to turn my hob off completely. The cooking's over now. And I'm going to get that into this tray. I've set a little tray up here. We're going to get it out and we're going to stand it for about 10 minutes to rest. If I had the little strings like Delia had, then I'll be bang on, but I haven't. So I'm just going to get it with my fingers. Don't recommend you do this. Do it with a cloth or something, but here it goes, here it goes. Hey. There we go. No harm done, no harm done. My top's expanded a little bit. That's no problem. That little pleat I put in the tin foil worked a treat because it hasn't exploded or anything. So I'm going to have a quick tidy down, boil myself some potatoes and a bit of broccoli, and we'll get this bad boy opened. Right, let's get stuck into this and see what we've got. Strings held tight, that's for sure. Got my scissors and that, cut that off, get rid of that. We'll keep it in the tray for now because it'll be a bit messy in that. Oh, look at that. Look at that, man. Doesn't that look great? Doesn't that look great? Right, I'm going to bring a dish in. I've been buying some new crockery and that. This is my YouTube plates now. The little one with the breakfast, dinner and lunch around the sides. It bit the dust, it bit the dust. So, alright, I'm going to move that in the middle a bit. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to flip it out. And hopefully, we'll get rid of that. Hopefully it's going to come out in one piece. So here goes nothing. Is it coming? Is it coming? Yeah, look at that. Look at that beauty. I'm happy with that. First go. First try, you know what I mean? There you go. If I can cook it, you can cook it. Get in the kitchen and have a go. Have a go. Look at that. Closer look before I cut it open and that. But look at that. I'm chuffed to bits with that, man. Absolutely perfect. No oil slick in that, like the tin ones and that. Absolutely perfect. Worth all the pain and pleasure. Absolutely great. Let's get it cut open, eh? Look at this. Right, I'd like to thank everyone who's watched. And I hope I've inspired you to get in your kitchens and that. Like I say, first time I've ever made this. So I hope it's give you a little bit of inspiration to give anything a go. We'll pull it out. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to bring a plate in. And I'm going to whack that piece on the plate. Then we'll get in with the camera and have a good close look at it. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and that. If you did, hit the like button and that. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. About 95 I think at the minute. Closing in on that 100. Closing in on that 100. So yeah, fantastic. This will do 4 people. I'll put the calories on the screen. There'll be rough calories because I didn't use all the pastry and that. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Bit of gravy. Just a bit of pesto and that. I like a bit of pesto and that. I've got a bit over the top of the gravy and that. But look at that. Fantastic meal. So yeah. Get in your kitchen, have a go. Get in the comments, tell us your kitchen successes, your kitchen nightmares and that. It's all fun. It's all a bit of fun and that. And yeah, we'll have a good close look round it. We'll have a taste. And all that's left is to say, be kind. Have a great week. And I'll see you next week. Next week, I'm going to be showing you something completely different. In the microwave, it's the meal that I use the most to lose me over £100. So if it's something that you want to do and that, tune into that one because I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So anyway, have a great week. And yeah, fantastic. Let's have a taste of this. We'll get a bit of the pudding. It's a little bit thick in places, but it's not too bad. Not for my first attempt anyway. That is something else. That is something else. See you next week.